Good evening and welcome to Between the Lanes, episode number 127. I'm Ron.
I'm Shane.
Shane's on the phone. And here we go. Again, welcome to Between the Lanes, episode number 127. And you can find us on YouTube, Slot Racers, the channel, 127 episodes, some how-to videos, and also some special episodes in there. Facebook, Between the Lanes is the page, and race results. And then these are all from last weekend, so we don't get nothing caught up. Mid-South was at American Adrenaline Speedway in Randleman, North Carolina. And in the LMP class, Walker McNulty was your winner, Guy Spalding second. Teddy Hoots was third. 4.5 inch was won by Russ Martin. Walker was second. Guy was third. GTP, Teddy Hoots was the winner. Bobby Beecham was second, and Guy Spalding third. And, we missed that one. 4-inch stock car, Walker McNulty was the winner. I got Bobby Beecham down as second, but it's kind of reversed in the photo. And Russ Martin was third. Hard body was at Pro Slots. In the hobby stock class, Dave Garino was your winner. Dennis Clark second. Dick Soul was third. In the super stock class, Dick Soul was the winner. Dave Solomon second. Dave Garino third. And then in pony stock, Dave Garino wins again. That makes 2 on the day for him and 3 podiums. Dick Soul second, Dennis Clark third. The Northeast Nazareth was at Port Jeff. And in one motor box, Justin was the winner. Larry Gonelli was second. And Rick the was third. I don't know, Rick the. It's just Rick the and a lot of dots after his name. In the Hillbilly 12 race, Larry was the winner. Rick Gage was second. Eric was third. In the two-motor International 15, Timmy was the winner. Hercules was second. Eric was third. Cobalt 12, Chubby, followed by Rick and Milan. And then in 27 Light, Chubby was your winner. Bob was second, and Larry was third. Then we go to HMS, Bellevue, Ohio, Penn, Ohio, along with the McMaster's Family Benefit Race, benefiting Cindy McMaster's. In the Coupe class, Eric Shirey was the winner. Mark Piccone was second. Jeremy Dennis was third. The only podium picture I couldn't find. And then in the regular Pro Coupes, Jason Dennis was the winner. Cap Henry second. Eric Shirey was third. F1, Willie Custer was your winner, followed by the 2 Jeremys. Jeremy Wyatt was second. Jeremy Dennis was third. I could have that. I might have that mixed up. Yeah, I do, because Jeremy Dennis was second. Jeremy Wyatt was third, but they're backwards in the picture. Can-Am was won by Cap Henry over Jason Dennis and Jeremy Wyatt. And the final class was stock car. Eric Shirey was the winner. Jason Dennis second, and Jimmy Williams was third. And no pictures of nothing because we've got pictures of everything. So winner, chicken dinner.
Sunday.
All right, this Sunday, the Checkpoint Cup race is going on at Buena Park Raceway, SCRRA. East Coast Flexi Series is at Speed Zone. ORS is at Mark's Model World. Also this weekend, the Rocky Mountain Retro Racing Association and the Nats warm-up race out at Fast Tracks in California. Nats warm-up race. I don't know why we did that. And then the first week of February, we've got Midwest Spec and BRS. All-Stars is at HMS. Ohio Oval Series is at HMS on Sunday the 2nd. The weekend of the 8th, we've got Mid-America Hard Body at Naperville. Central Illinois Slot Series at Whiskers. And the Daytona 500 will be at Fast Alley Raceway. And the weekend of Valentine's, the 15th, you got Yuska at Thaser. There's the Cindy McMasters race at Mark's Model World. And then the weekend of 22nd, you got Flexi Flats West 2020 out at Fast Tracks, Rockland, California. Hard Bodies at Thaser, and the OCC is at Mark's Model World. That's what I have for next month so far. So that's that. So what are you doing, Shane? You getting ready to go race? No, you don't race for a while, do you?
No, I don't race until the OCC race at Mark's.
So you got like a month off.
Yeah, my last race was December. I couldn't even tell you. Sometime in December.
Sometime in December.
Yeah, I've been off since, building new chassis, new cars.
Right.
Getting ready for the 2020 season.
Gotcha.
Yep. Taking it easy.
I hear you. Well, I'm still getting over my bug. So
Gotcha.
just haven't got a lot of stuff done. And I got some how-to things into the works, but I just haven't been able to get them done.
I have my days. Some days I kind of hit it hard, and it's like, wow, I got a lot done. And other days it's kind of like, I ain't really feeling this.
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah,
just
keeping up with just regular business is difficult enough to be trying to do other stuff too. So
at work, and then depending on how the day goes at work, some days if it's an easy day, then it's like, yeah, I just come home and feel good. And if it's a long, stressful day, and it's like, I just kind of just want to come home and chill out.
Yep.
See what's on TV, or whatever. And I mean, I might come in here and turn the lights on, look at some stuff, and then just write some notes down or do some organizing, or kind of be like, all right, tomorrow this is what I want to do, make a list,
Right. Yep.
It's like I tell people, it's almost like a 24/7, 365 days a week job,
Yep. And I call it a
depends
hobby.
on how serious you want to do it,
Right.
So, and then too, me going to the Nats in April, like I kind of want to start getting stuff ready for that.
Right.
So, yep.
I can dig it.
So, the game. It's kind of like the show we did about preparation. You can never be over prepared.
Right. Yeah. Like, I'm off this weekend, then I race the next 4 weeks. So,
Gotcha.
I'll be busy.
Other than that, it's, nothing really.
Yep.
Just kind of been hanging out. So,
cool. Any gossip from the Mid-South race?
Not that I'm aware of. I kind of approached that race as, I wasn't there. I didn't race it, so I'm kind of staying out of it.
Gotcha. I hear you. I mean, I didn't really hear anything, but
yeah,
usually there's something going on. So
I mean, from what I remember them telling me, it was a good turnout. I think they had like 20 guys or something there, so I was like, well, that's cool.
Right.
And not one track or braid issue whatsoever. So yeah,
it's good.
Yeah, about it. I haven't really got involved, I guess.
There's really no new products to talk about. No one's really come out with anything.
Yeah, I haven't seen anything to my knowledge either.
Been kind of quiet on that front.
Yeah. I was trying to think if there's really any kind of topic or anything out there that's kind of floating around. And
a couple weeks.
First of the year, everyone's been kind of quiet,
Right. Well, a couple weeks ago, we talked about the first like in the 3 run in drag racing.
Right.
But I have to stand corrected on that because I guess a while back, well, we don't know, about 2 years ago, I guess, is what I was told, Dave Knapp went a 391 at 140 mile an hour at Innovative down in Indy. So the run at Uncle Charlie's was the first there in the 3s, but that was not the first ever, yeah.
Gotcha.
So, yeah.
So in all your years of racing slot cars, have you ever drag raced competitively in slot cars?
Wow, that's a good question.
I mean, I'm sure you've built cars or built motors or been there, but have you ever entered?
Okay, so like my first drag race, for example, my first drag race was I believe it was the 3rd, 88, 89, 90. So it was either the 3rd or 4th. I can't remember if it was 1990 or 1991. If it was 90, it would have been the 3rd. If it was 91, it would have been the 4th annual slot car drag nats down at Grand Prix Raceway in Cincinnati.
Gotcha.
Because they had the first one in 88, and that's kind of what brought slot car drag racing back into the scene, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
So I went down. I was working at Parma at the time, and I went down there to kind of hang out and see what was going on. And at that race, I met Bob Herrick. I got to back up. I had met Bob Herrick before, very briefly in 1988 when we had the Wing Car Worlds down in San Antonio, Texas. Like they came and, we had this race in this kind of civic center down there, and it was the World Championship for wing cars that year. And some of the manufacturers had set up booths, and Bob and Bob had brought down a bunch of cars and was showing them to the different manufacturers. And I don't remember if that race was before or after that first drag nats. Anyway, they had a lot of cool drag cars, and they were showing them off to everybody. And, I just briefly spoke with Bob. I mean, I was just there to race, and, they had some cool stuff. And so then we kind of got reacquainted at this race in Cincinnati. And then, Bob was like, "Are you racing?" I said, "Nah, I don't drag race. Like, I don't really have any interest." So he's like, "Well, if you have a motor, I have a car." And I'm like, "Okay." So I have some motors with me. So he gave me a AA funny car. And at that time he was, I'll have to show it on the show sometime. They were all made from stainless steel tubing. They were all like hand bent and soldered together, and really a pretty trick piece. This is before we had laser cut kits and EDM cut kits and stuff. Everything was brass and wire, or it was stainless steel tubing and stuff. So I throw one of my 64 open motors in there and go out and make some passes. And the late Jesse Kissinger was there, and he's giving me tips on how to glue it and stuff. And I got going pretty fast. And I wound up making. I put Bob's wife Brenda out in the semi, so it was me and Bob in the final. And Bob got me. I don't remember I think Bob just cut a better light or something than me, but Bob won. I got runner up, and that was like the first. That was like the first time I drag raced, and so then I went back down to Cincinnati. Like a year later for a wing car race, and they were racing drags on Friday night. I think they were paying some bucks or something. I thought it was a bracket race. And I thought, well, you know what? I'm gonna put a bracket car together. So I took a Parma Whisper Jet, and I put a brake pot like on one of the lead wires, and between the lead wire, like probably on the positive side, and I could dial my car. I could dial how much power it got.
Right.
So I had my car going like 5 seconds. Okay. And I think we might have talked about this on the show, but I was kind of the reason why they have a 2-second rule now in drag racing. But I put that thing on 5 seconds. So like I could take off and them guys are just chomping at the bit waiting to go.
Right.
And I don't remember how many rounds I went, but I'm just saying if I went 8 rounds, I red lighted 7 guys because they just I'm almost to the finish line and they're getting ready to go. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
their lights are starting. So I make it to the final, and Tim Cedrette was running a double-A funny car, and he's like, "How much does he get?" And they're like, "Well, like 5 seconds." You know, and he's like, "Oh, that's BS." And so the lights go down, I take off, and he's just over there like, he goes, "I can't believe this. This is so stupid." And he's blah, 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 blah. And so he finally go, well, my car for some reason, like it quit running. Like it was almost not going fast enough to make it through the lights at the end.
Right.
And he just barely got me because I think my car stuttered a little bit. And that was like the last time I like drag raced or was even remotely serious about it. But I always
After that, you retired.
Yeah, I didn't retire from nothing. I ran 2 races, but I mean, I have nothing against drag racing. It's just too difficult to do both at the same time, to do road racing and drag racing, because
Right. There's always something
Yeah.
here or there
Right.
going on.
Right, yeah. So I always joke around and tell everybody that when I get to the point I can't get around the track in 2 minutes to pit my car, then I'll probably go drag racing.
Yeah, saying that to me before about it.
Because I can make my run and make my pass, go down there and get the car and go take a break for a while. And so,
Gotcha.
which for all the time and stuff, sometimes I'm sitting there, I'm going, for all the time and effort and everything I put into road racing, I could have went into drag racing. And if I was half as successful at drag racing than I've been at road racing, I probably would have made a lot of money drag racing.
Well, there's a couple that used to kind of do road racing with us. And they, certain places they would do good and they enjoyed the company and hanging out. They always had fun.
Right. Oh, yeah.
And then, like, they kind of adventured into the drag racing thing.
Right.
And I remember when they first got into drag racing, they would still show up from time to time at, like, the road races. And sometimes they still get invited to the road races to be, like, teammates, stuff like that.
Right.
Or partners with someone. And it's like you said, the money they make,
Right.
It's just, they were like, dude, you got it all wrong. I'm like, what do you mean? They're like, you need to be drag racing.
Right.
Like, I got so much money invested in the road course racing now. I'm not making that transition,
Right.
So.
Yep.
Yeah. Every now and again, they still do some road racing, but for the most part, you can see them on Facebook. They're drag racing here, drag racing. I think they said between the two of them in one night, I think they together won close to like $1,000. Like one of them won the light money, and the other one had a car that won and was runner up and was third.
Yep. Yep.
Gosh, like, all right, cool.
Yep.
Real cool, down to earth people. Never talked bad about drag racing. Never talked bad about road racing. It's just
Right.
they had a better hand at drag racing than they did road racing.
Right.
But they paid money. So it was like.
Yep.
So.
Yep.
Speaking, since I guess the topic's kind of drag racing, you see that Randy's got the 4 wide going. I don't know if he's got the timing system up.
Well, I seen him run 4 cars down there together on a Facebook video yesterday.
Yeah, so I thought that was kind of cool. I
Yeah,
know that's kind of been something he's been working on for a while now. So it's kind of cool to see that kind of happening.
Yep. Yeah, just if you thought road or drag racing was complicated enough with 2 lanes.
Yeah, now you got 4.
Now you got 4. So like,
yeah.
I mean, if there's a big race and I mean, you got to make passes on all 4 lanes instead of 2.
Right.
So I don't know if that'll ever become popular or not, but
Right.
I think it's cool though. But
oh, yeah, it's neat to watch them. Well, me thinking, road course. All right, well, what happens if one of them crashes? And instead of it just being 2 cars, he has a chance to take out 4 or 3 cars.
sure, yeah, one guy could take everybody out, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
But yeah, I meant to call him, and I never got around it today just to see if he got the timing worked out on it. Because I remember that was one of the biggest issues he'd had was trying to get the timing.
Right.
Because I guess obviously the only kind of timing they had was for 2 lanes.
For 2 lanes. Got yep.
4, so it's like, all right,
Right.
So I still thought it was kind of neat, something different.
Yep.
So.
Yeah, like I said, I only drag raced a couple times.
Right.
I mean, okay, I guess so. A couple years ago, there was a New Year's race at Columbia City, and we ran on 3 different road tracks, and then the final thing that decided the points was we had a race on a drag strip. So that was the last time I guess I drag raced.
Right.
So
yeah, I never competitively drag raced. There was one time that I was at Randy's, and I think Walker had a car or something like that, and me and him were kind of, playing the game amongst one another who can get the best reaction time.
Right.
And road course racing, I always race with my left hand, so I was trying to do it with my left hand.
Mm-hmm.
Like, my reaction time sucked. Walker's like, God, you suck. And I'm like, hey, I'm not a drag racer. And I was like, you know what? Just for, ha-has or whatever, let me try it with my right hand. He's like, yeah, you're going straight, I had a quicker reaction time on my right hand.
Yeah.
So I was like, well, if they ever wanted to competitively drag race, I guess it's something I have to do with my right hand.
Right.
It was just kind of funny because we got up there and tried it, and I was just like, wow, that's slow, and then I kind of got the timing down and got it figured out, got faster with every pass, and I was like, yeah, let's try this hand.
Right.
So.
Yep. No, it's, it was fun when I did it. I mean, but I just, like I said, too wound up in the other stuff.
Right.
So there you have it.
Yeah.
It was fun. It's cool.
Oh, yeah.
Something different.
I mean, and like we talked, I think it was the last show about, some of the cars are nice.
Oh, yeah. Yep. See them every day on Facebook.
Yeah. They got Facebook pages too, where guys kind of like show off their paint jobs.
Yep. And they have every right to show that stuff off. That stuff's beautiful.
Yeah. Well, some of them, depending on how the picture's taken, they look like realistic cars.
Right.
So.
Yep. Yep.
So.
Okay. Well, that's all I got for this week.
Gotcha.
Hopefully next week I'll have a few, well, at least one new how-to video done.
All right. Yeah, I'm going through gears right now. I don't know if you hear it or not, but I'm getting spur gears out.
Yep. You're getting organized.
Yeah, I'm figuring it out slowly but surely. Busy stuff.
Yep. Cool.
So.
All right. Well, until next week. If you're going
you want
racing,
to do the word, or you want me to do the word?
You can do the word.
I say I wouldn't use the word cater to the drag racers, but let's just say drag racing.
Drag racing? Okay.
Yeah, all the shows previous to this one's always been road course or kind of road course related, so.
This week's secret word is drag racing, or secret words, whatever.
Yeah, word. Just want to put a space.
Okay. Well, if you're going racing this weekend, be safe, good luck, have fun. We will be back next week, episode number 128. And until then, adios.
See you later.